Well, it's that time of the year. As you can see, I'm at Frankfurt Motor Show. It's just begun. But as you know, this is one of the largest motor shows and I'm always exhausted because it's so massive. This time, I've come prepared with an entire army of people and we're going to bring you everything this show has to offer. It's over to Gavin.
So the car behind me, of course, is one you've been looking forward to quite a lot. It is Maruti Suzuki's new Baleno premium hatchback. And can we just agree, it is quite a stunner. This is one of the most striking looking Suzukis we've seen in a long time. And you've got to admit there's something really special about the way it looks. There are a lot of new elements like this V-shaped grille, still distinctive as a Suzuki, but yet refreshingly new. Then there are the headlights, similar in shape to the ones on the Swift, but obviously smaller and with a lot of great detailing inside, projector elements and LED daytime running lights. Now if you move over to the side, you'll notice that the window line rises ever so gently and what gives it a rather prominent haunch here over the side. What's also nice is this rear three-quarter glass that gives it a very, very distinctive look. The other thing that gives it a distinctive look are those wing mirrors that are mounted on the doors rather than the pillar. And finally, at the rear, the windscreen is really steeply rigged, ending in this chrome lip spoiler. And that makes it look really attractive and a bit sporty too. I am now in the driver's seat of the all-new Suzuki Baleno, and of course it's a left-hand drive because we're in Germany. You'll notice a lot of familiar bits from other Marutis, the buttons, the steering wheel, and the 7-inch touchscreen, which will get Apple CarPlay in India. However, the dashboard design is refreshingly new. There's this nice rising central console over here, and it splits up into a V and makes for a very, very attractive dashboard. So now I'm in the back seat of the Suzuki Baleno, and as you can see, I've got quite a decent amount of knee room here. So that's not a problem. It's wide enough just about for three, and headroom, though okay, might be a bit of a stretch for taller passengers. What you will like also is that there are quite large windows and even a nice little rear three-quarter glass. So the good sense of airiness back here. At 355 litres, the boot is quite spacious, but the loading lip is high and narrow. The best news is it will be launching in India first, by the end of October, when it will take on the Honda Jazz and the Hyundai i20. It will get the Ciaz's 89 bhp 1.3 diesel engine and the Swift's 83 bhp 1.2 petrol, the latter with a CVT automatic option. However, we will also see a high-tech 1-litre turbo petrol engine called Booster Jet with 110 bhp introduced at a later stage.
Meanwhile, this brand new SUV was drawing all the attention at Jaguar's stall, and most of the chatter was about this.
It's the biggest loop in the world. It's beaten the existing record that did stand by well over a metre.
Jaguar chose to unveil its F-Pace with a death-defying, gravity-defying, Guinness record-setting stunt a day before.
I kind of start braking on the way down, but the force is I actually go in at 50 plus miles an hour, and when I hit the loop it's 6.5 G. But then when I'm completely up the top, upside down, I'm only doing 15 miles an hour and the tyres are just coming off of the track. Then I can see where I am, so then I start braking. Nothing crazy on the steering wheel, nothing crazy on the brakes, just be nice and gentle and bring it all home.
Though Jaguar were firmly staking claim with the stunts to sports car heritage, the F-Pace in its flesh is good enough to do that alone. The front looks butch with the large grille, wide bumper and air dams. A single sheet of aluminium is used on the side panel, extending from the A-pillar all the way to the rear, lending it a taut appearance. Following the new XC and XF sedans, the F-Pace is the third vehicle from the manufacturer to make use of the lightweight aluminium-intensive platform. And though it's 1,652 millimeters tall and has a ground clearance of 213 millimeters, it still is shorter than the X3. But it's not only that, it's also got a good dose of practicality. You can see there's ample space here in the rear seat, and the boot at the back is something the Indians are going to love. Well, designer Ian Callum told us that he'd rather have us sit in his car than on top of it, and that is exactly the feeling that you get in here. It feels almost sedan-like. Your, binnacles at eye level. There's this high central console that adds to that feeling. Apart from that, interiors really feel top-notch on quality. Everything is finished perfectly, dials clear to the eye, and of course there's this massive 10.2-inch infotainment system that has a host of functions and connectivity. The Jaguar F-Pace will probably make its first appearance in India at the 2016 Delhi Auto Expo. The first units will be imported, it will eventually be CKD, and the estimated price is in the range of 65 to 70 lakh.
Volkswagen will finally have a competitive SUV in the 20 to 25 lakh range. And that car is this new Tiguan.
First of all, we wanted to create a true SUV. So we had to get the proportions right. We swapped the car onto the new modular transverse matrix platform. So the car has grown in length, has grown in track, it has grown in wheelbase. The wheels are bigger, the front O-wing shorter, a lot more sporty, a lot more emotional.
The new Tiguan is based on the all-new MQB platform, and that means plenty of quality stuff on the inside. Not just that, you have a lot of good electronics, you have a great connectivity, and you have new things on this car like this dial over here that allows you to select the kind of conditions you're driving in. There's an electronic speedometer and tachometer, again new. The connectivity is brand new, so a lot of new stuff here, but as ever, great quality from Volkswagen and stuff you want to always touch and feel. Now, the new Tiguan won't be coming to India until 2017, and that's because they're going to assemble the car in India just like the Octavia in the Aurangabad plant. But what you can see here is a really fresh-looking, bold, strong SUV, and that's exactly what the Indian market wants.
What also created a lot of buzz was Audi's epic pavilion, what with its giant compass on the ceiling and the rotating, full-size cars on the wall. But really, there was only one car we came to see.
Now, taking center stage of what is clearly a spectacular pavilion is Audi's brand new A4 sedan. Now, at first glance, it might look a little similar to the previous car, but once you look in a bit closer, you'll realize that it's a lot sharper looking and there's a lot more character to the design. It's also built on a brand new platform, which means it's a bit more spacious and a bit lighter as well, so it should be more efficient. The engines are updated and there's a raft of new technology inside, including the new virtual cockpit system. Well, the old A4 was one of Audi's best-selling models in India, and we have no doubt that once this one joins the fray, it will continue that tradition just fine.
Over at the other end of the show is BMW with its brand new X1. And when I say all new, I mean every nut and bolt. This is a brand new car. As you can see, it's got a higher bonnet line, so it doesn't look like a long estate car anymore. It looks very much like an SUV. And there's something really different about this. I want you to come forward and take a look at this. Unbelievable. Unbelievably, it's got a transverse engine. And so this car is four-wheel drive. BMW also have a front-wheel drive X1. While the white car was an X-drive or four-wheel drive, this one is an S-drive. And the difference is there's no rear drive shaft. It's front-wheel drive and a BMW. All BMWs up until now have been basically rear-wheel drive. So this new X1 is a first. Now, for those of you familiar with the old X1, this will be an unbelievable sight. Plenty of legroom, just loads of it. And the old car had almost nothing. The reason for this, of course, is the transverse engine that takes up so little of the length of the car that you have a much larger cabin. So now the X1 is much larger and much more comfortable and usable on the inside. The new X1 will come to India in mid-2016 and is likely to retail for around 30 lakhs. The other SUV that caught our eye was the brand new Borgward BX7. Now, this German manufacturer ceased operations back in the 60s, but the mark has now been resurrected, and its first new car, though it's manufactured in China, is here at Frankfurt. The big news, however, is that this 222 bhp 2-litre turbo petrol BX7 is making its way to a showroom near you in India. And internally, Borgward aim to price this SUV at a competitive 25 to 27 lakhs.
Well, these days no one can escape the SUV craze, can they? And the latest to jump onto the bandwagon is Bentley. And boy, have they done it in style. This is the new Bentayga. It is very, very striking to look at. And Bentley claims this is not only the most exclusive, but also the fastest SUV on the planet. With a 6-litre, 600 bhp W12 engine, I don't really doubt them. And sure enough, it's got that classic Bentley face, and that means a whole lot of presence.
Well, more often than not, we're buzzing around the motor show, bringing you all the India-centric stuff. But here's something I couldn't resist stopping and staring at. The Infiniti Q30, really a sexy styled car.
Stare. That's what I did at the Bugatti Pavilion, where the company showed off its new concept, the Bugatti Vision GT, with its crazy aerodynamic appendages and its use of carbon fiber and metal in different places. Of course, it's a Bugatti, so it has 16 cylinders and 4 turbos, and Bugatti claims that the car can now hit a top speed of 402 kilometers an hour. 402, yeah, that's right.
With Lambo's latest Spider, we know more or less what to expect. A Huracan without a roof, right? But seeing it in the metal is just something else. With its new engine cover and twin buttresses, if anything, it's even more beautiful. Porsche's big Frankfurt debut was of course the new 911 Carrera range, which now uses downsized 3-litre turbocharged engines for more power and torque, but crucially better emissions. But Porsche also gave us a glimpse into the future with the Mission E concept. This is a stunning all-electric 4-door coupe to rival Tesla. 600 bhp and 500 kilometers of range? Nice. Ford may be bringing the Mustang to India in a few months as a sort of brand booster, but come now Ford. If you really want to make India sit up and take notice, bring in a few of these. This Le Mans prototype lookalike is the new Ford GT. And with well over 600 horsepower from its EcoBoost V6, it's got Ferrari in its sights once again.
The new Rolls Dawn is another drop-top V12, but its brief is slightly different. Whereas a Lamborghini wants to increase your heart rate, this one definitely wants to lower it. Rolls-Royce says it's a unique car all in its own right, but a lot of the bits come from its coupe version, the Wraith.
That wasn't the only luxurious 4-seat convertible at Frankfurt this year. Mercedes has taken the top off its S-Class coupe, and the result is every bit as gorgeous. The S Cabriolet is available only with twin-turbo V8 motors, a standard 450 bhp S500, or if you want to worry your neighbor's Bentley, the 563 bhp AMG S63. And finally, the most high-tech concept of the show this year came from Mercedes.
This is the Mercedes-Benz Concept, and we all thought the acronym IAA stood for the motor show it was being shown at, but it actually stands for Intelligent Aerodynamic Automobile. And that's exactly what this is, because it adapts its aerodynamics depending on the situation and the driving speed. The surfaces of the tire go in, as you can see it happen right now, or come out for the lower speeds when you travel at lower speeds for better aerodynamics. And of course, it also communicates with the environment, we're told.